Well, hey friends, it is Amanda with Metal Modern Design coming to you live today on the Essential Stencil page. We are going to be creating some cute original works of art using our stencils, and then we're going to embellish it with a little bit of glass. For those of you who are watching us on replay, go ahead and type replay. You'll have a chance to win free stencils on replay. If you're joining us live, remember that your comments get you entered into a chance to win free stencils. And we're live every day, Monday through Friday, so you always have a chance to win and to catch some free inspiration. Hey friends, so the pre-order is on for the fall and Halloween collections that are being ordered right now. You can pre-order through the end of the week. They ship on August 1st. So if you want to order any of those, make sure you click on a link or use my code METTLE, METTLE, to save yourself an additional 10%. Hey Ann, hey Connie, hey friends. Thanks for being here. As you hop on, remember to say hello. And if you don't mind doing this, we would appreciate you very much, whether you're watching live or on replay. So what I've got here, friends, today is I've got a variety of, and let me angle you down just a little bit. And if you want to get on my text notification list, you can text the word live right there and you'll get a notification when I'm going live. So I've got a variety of canvases here that we could use. I've also got some wood panels that we could use, and you just have to determine what you have on hand and what you want to use. It works on canvas, it works on wood. Hey friends, good afternoon from Michigan. It's still morning here and the bottom just fell out. It's raining in Florida. I'm hoping that we don't lose any internet. No lightning right now, so maybe we won't have a problem with the power. It's been a crazy few weeks. Hey friends, okay, so I'm gonna be using a few different, let me show you a few different options you might have on hand that you could create something similar with. And of course, there's the new collections that are coming out that will have additional options. I just don't have those yet to show you. So this little set is a super cute set. It's one of the older designs, but I love this one because I use that crow a lot. I love the October 31st one. It's got this cute pumpkin, and it's just a simple little pumpkin, very cute. And that's a 6-inch set. Now this is, if you wanted to do something larger, I love this one. This is Hello Fall, and it's got a cheetah print pumpkin. So you can use it just as a solid pumpkin, or you can layer it and add the cheetah print to it. So that's one, if you wanted to do a larger, like 12-inch pumpkin, you could do that. Now these are from the Seasonal Icons collection. And so this is the pumpkin that comes with Seasonal Icons. And it's also got this cute little leaf. Let me pull out one more that I've got pulled over here because I absolutely love this one and I use it a lot this time of year. It's Welcome to Our Patch, and it's got 3 pumpkins right there, and I absolutely love that one. So no matter which set, hey from Hot Missouri, no matter which set you go with, if you've got one, if you want to pick up a new one, there's always one out there that you can use to create a similar look. So I'm going to set those larger ones aside because we're going to work on some smaller things. Now, I think that this would be adorable on this, and I've got it all piled up. I pulled out all the paints I thought I might use or need. So you're going to see there's going to be a lot of color today. These are these new houses from Essential Stencil. You could even do something like this on this house, and then you glue the little roof on it. It's so cute. So it's so thick that even adding glass to this, it is thick enough that it's going to stand up. But in addition, if you needed, let me show you this. Okay, so the house comes with the roof peaks, right? You can glue the roof peaks on and just have this as a leaner. However, if I add glass to the front of this and it becomes a little heavier on this side, if you stencil, it's not a problem. If I add glass to it, it's going to come a little heavier on this side. So the tendency might be to lean it forward. Because this is already mitered, I can actually glue this. Can you guys see this? I'm backwards and sideways. I can glue this to the back of this house and this becomes an easel. What do you guys think of that idea? So I just lean it there. It becomes an easel on the back. You don't need it as long as you don't add that extra weight. But if you add some extra weight to it, you can actually utilize one of these as an easel. So just want to throw out that little helpful tip to anybody who might need it. Okay, so let me set that aside as well. So I think the ones I'm going to go with this morning, and there's another one, there's an acorn set that I have spent over an hour this morning looking for. I haven't found it yet, but it's on the website. It's got a set of acorns, and there's a pumpkin with that one too. That's a really cute pumpkin, and I wanted to use that one. I can't find it anywhere. I don't know what to tell you. I'm one of those crafters. I lose everything. So I'm going to be using this one from this little 6-inch set, and I'm probably going to be using this one from the seasonal icons, because I just feel like that one's so versatile. We might as well use it. Now, I've got a variety of sizes. This is a 4-inch. It's a thicker canvas. I get these in bulk at Michael's. This one, I have no idea where I got it. It's a 7-inch canvas. This one's a 6-inch canvas. I got an 8-inch canvas. I've got some different size canvases, so you can use any of them. It depends on how full you want your image to be in the design. So we're going to start with just this little 4-inch and use an oversized. It's going to be an oversized design where it's just really going to come off the edges. Let me see which one of these. I think I want to use this one. Though I love the curly cues of this one. So this one is the seasonal icon. Now all I'm going to do, this is pretty firm. I'm not going to, it's very sturdy because it's so small. I'm not going to really have to firm it up or anything. And these are all pre-primed. When you get these canvases and they're white like this, they're all pre-primed with gesso or whatever. And so just going to give it just a little bit of moisture. Just going to spray that down a little bit. And then I'm going to grab, I'm not going to do white. I think I'm going to do a little gray. I just want a little visual interest and difference in this. And we're just going to create some things. Now, let me also mention, because I didn't think to mention this or do this, there are transfers. If you don't want to have to do all of this painting and do all of these things, there are transfers, rub-on transfers that are beautiful pumpkins, and you can just use one of those and adhere it to canvas or wood and then do the embellishing. So if you don't want to have to do all of this and use all the paint colors and do all the things, you don't have to, because they've already done it for you. So I'm just going to use a little 2-inch chip brush here. Just going to lift a little gray, and I'm just going to add just a little bit of shading to this canvas, just so it's not a plain white canvas. I'm just going to take it kind of off the edge here and do a little bit on the sides too. Just a little bit. It's just to give it a little, just a little something. Now I might go, let's see, just a little heavier, just in the corners a little bit. Now this whole design is going to go off the canvas. Let me angle you guys down just a little bit more. It's going to go off the canvas. So the background's not going to be as important. Let me see if I angle you just a little bit more. Pardon all my mess. These are all the things we're using today. So we've got just a little background here. It's so light and it was dry brushed on. We're not going to need to worry about that at all. So let me pull out, I think we're going to start this with a brown. I've just got this raw umber. This is Premier Acrylic. You guys, I cannot believe that 2 years later I'm still using this stuff and that it hasn't spoiled. But they quit making this about 2 years ago when AC Moore went out of business. I bought up all the stock I could find everywhere. But you can use Master's Touch, you can use Liquitex. There's so many that come in these tubes like this. They're not the true, very expensive, like $24 a bottle paints. These are more like $5.99 to $8.99, and you can get them on sale. This one's another one, the Artist Loft here. I just like these because they're so much thicker, you use so much less paint, they're so pigmented, and I like them. So I'm going to grab, do I want this one? So I'm going to put it down, and I'm just going to determine which one has the lines I like the best for this project. I do love the curly Q on this one, and the leaf is kind of big on this one. But I like the dimension of this one, so I'm going to use this one. And I'm just going to position it up. It's going to take the majority of the canvas here. Now, because this is the seasonal icon, because my stencil is bigger than my canvas, there's a little bit of lift on it, and there's really no good place to tape. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna make sure it's positioned up correctly. I'm just gonna tape it down across part of the stencil, and I can lift that and move that as I need to. I'm gonna grab one of the smaller Essential stencil brushes that's just blunt edged. I'm gonna grab a little bit of this brown. Now, I thought about doing this in pinks or blues or some different colors, but I'm going to do this one in traditional fall colors, just because I know a lot of you will prefer the traditional colors. Now, this is not a brown I typically would love to do all kinds of things with, but this is just going to be a base layer. So I'm just going to get this pumpkin on here. There's all of these small bridges, so you just want to make sure you don't go up under the bridges. You just want to kind of go away, paint away from the bridges. You can use a little circular motion, but sometimes when the bridges are like this, it's best to just kind of use a sweeping motion. I use kind of a multi-pronged effect, I guess. Okay. Got the start of that down. Let me lift the tape here. I'm just going to hold it with my fingers, and we're just going to press this down. Okay. And so this is what we start to work with. It's just a little bit down. You're not ready for fall, but then we do accept Christmas in July. I know it seems counterintuitive, and I like to jump on the Christmas in July bandwagon, though I haven't as much this year. I've really hopped into fall because right now it's the end of July, or mid-July, and all of the crafters who create to sell need to be creating fall right now. They need to be bulking up for their fall craft shows, for their booths and whatnot, because they've got to start creating Christmas too. So Christmas and fall is what everybody who's selling is creating. So do you see how choosing sometimes a smaller canvas than the size, because I could have easily gone with the bigger canvas, but the design kind of becomes lost in the middle of that large canvas. So choosing one that's smaller than the design just gives you a little, I don't know, I just like it better. Okay, so let's grab some different colors here. These are two different color oranges. I'm gonna go with just the one that says orange. I'm gonna pull out some orange. I'm gonna pull out a little bit of red. This is Crimson by Master's Touch. Pull out a little red. Again, I'll mention, if you guys haven't taken a look at the new collections, they're still up for pre-order. That means you can order them now. They'll ship as soon as they get in and are available on or about the 1st of August. Okay, so I've just got a little bit of dark titanium white, a little bit of gold, what is that, yellow ochre, crimson red, and orange. So those are the colors I've got right now. Now I'm going to grab out some of these Essential Stencil detail brushes. They're nice and firm. They're ergonomic, so these are great for adding additional elements to your pumpkin. So I'm just going to grab a little bit of this orange, and I'm just going to start to pull this in. Now I could lay the stencil back down and do this with a stencil brush right over the piece, and I might do that if I find that this is going to take me way too long. But I want to be able to add in multiple dimensions, and so I'm just gonna bring this down. I might fill in between some of these bridges, even with some orange. You could also do this with a palette knife, and that's what I forgot to grab this morning, was my palette knife. Because you can really cake on the paint using a palette knife. But this is how you make these stencils become original art. And you can do this with all kinds of colors. Just gonna get this orange on here a little bit. It can be heavier and thicker in areas. I realize I'm dragging my arm through it over here. That's fantastic. I would say pick a direction and go one direction so that you don't mess it up with your hand. Like I keep positioning it different ways, and so now I've got it all on the side of my hand and I'm laying my hand down. Okay, so I'm just gonna make this process a bit more rapid. We're just gonna get all of these colors down on here. And I really want to see what it looks like if I put some orange in these bridges, because it's going to be a different color than where I've got the brown from the stencil. And really, we just want a little differentiation between where our, and doing it multiple colors and then doing it this way gives it just more dimension. I just want some delineation where the various parts of the pumpkin would be. And so let's just take this up here. And these little detail brushes are great for this. Just get some of this up here, because this is like the back part of the pumpkin. So we've just got some orange coming onto it. Down here, this is still part of the pumpkin. We're just gonna follow this down. Let me see if I place, yeah. So I'm just gonna paint in these bridges just a bit with this orange too, because it's still gonna give that dimension that I was looking for. So do you see, even painting it in, since I started with the brown, it's still gonna give that dimension we're looking for. I'm probably going to need a bit more orange. So we're just adding in the components here. I drug my hand through that, so we're gonna make that work. Just add a little bit of brown there, and I'm just gonna outline that area. Some brown. Okay. Same thing down here. And you just go back and forth over this until it starts to look like how you want it. So I'm going to add some touches. Let's go back. I want some more. I'm going to grab this darker orange. This is vermilion. And you just go in with layers and layers of color. Layers and layers of color. I want my brightest colors, I think, down here at the bottom, kind of up on the sides. It doesn't have to be consistent, just layering this color on, friends. I don't really want to see the white of the canvas. I'm just layering that in. Kind of where those bridges were. What do you guys think so far? Starting to look like a hot mess, right? Keep the faith. Okay. I'm going to grab some more of this brown, just using the same brush here. And I'm just going to bring this stem kind of down into this a bit. We'll thicken up our stem here, give it some color, some dimension. We'll just bring it onto our piece a bit here. And see, this is what it's starting to look like. We could add just some additional lines. We can actually take that brown now a little bit into those bridges. Drag those down a bit. You guys, I am not a freehand artist, but I can use some embellishments and work this thing. I can work it if I've got some help, you know? I think, here's the honest truth. I think that what we lack when we say we can't do things, because you guys will always hear me say, I'm not a freehand painter. I'm not, I can't do original works. I'm not a real artist. That's fear. It's fear of trying new things. It's fear of just stepping out of the comfort zone. So I have to assume that some of you feel the same, even about stenciling, which is a fear I've tackled. I didn't used to be good at stenciling until I started stenciling all the time. I don't think there's not a lot of things in this life that we do that we're just inherently just, naturals that we don't have to practice at, There's so many things we can be great at, but they do take time. I'm gonna grab a little green here. This is just grass green. I'm gonna grab just a little bit of it. I'm gonna put it over here on our leaf that's coming off. Again, these detail brushes are perfect for this. Just gonna add a little green to our stem here as well. Just take that a little bit down into these bridges, where we've got a mixture of green and brown, and it starts to build some dimension there. Here's the other thing. What I'm about to do, your art doesn't have to be perfect, because I'm going to embellish it with some glass, and this is just going to be the layer that's up underneath everything. So let me show you how it's starting to look. You see how this is looking? Did I take any art classes? No. And in fact, I can remember my freshman year of college. I was not a child of privilege. I worked really hard to get into school, and I went to a private women's college initially, and everybody there had money. I did not. So I needed a job on campus, and the job that they had was in the art department. And I don't even remember at this point what they wanted me to do, but I felt so out of my element that I worked there for a week and quit. And then I actually did something that was much more meaningful to me. Anyway, I ended up starting to teach people in the community who didn't know how to read. And that was more fulfilling to me anyway. But I was so intimidated by artsy people that I didn't even stick with that job, Crazy. It's something I pray about when I don't have an idea of what I'm going to do. I pray about it, because this is how I support my family. It's how I support my kids, 3 kids in college, and how I support myself. And so I don't feel I'm particularly anything different than anybody else is. I just have a desire to create. So I'm just adding a little red in here. I just want to make pretty things, and take care of my family. Okay, so now we've just got this added dimension. Do you see how we're just continuing to add dimension to this? If you guys like where this is going, let me know. Let me know what you think. I'm gonna add a little of this yellow. Pull this in here just a little bit. We don't need much. It's just kind of some accent. I'm gonna turn this towards me a little bit so I can see what we're missing. If any of this canvas is looking a little bare, I hate that look when the canvas starts to pixelate with all that white. Especially when I pour resin on it, you'll really see that. So I like to just add the dimension here. I do want something a little different with this leaf up here. Let me grab some more brown. Just want this stem to come up into this a bit better. So I'm just adding that. I'll add it with just a touch of green and a touch of brown. Just add that back and forth. There we go. It's looking pretty good. We can add a little bit of gold to the leaf as well, just to create some more visual. Add a little brown to the gold, dull it out a bit. Add the gold kind of into the stem as well. There we go. I don't like how bright that gold is, so I'm just gonna come back over it with a little bit of brown. Dull that out a bit, a little bit of green. So it's just a back and forth until you get it the way you like it. And don't worry if your paint's thick. I kind of like that look. There we go. I do want this little side to come up a bit more. It's looking a little odd right there. That was way too much paint, so let me pull that back. Sometimes we gotta leave well enough alone. I just kind of created a little bit of a hot mess going on here, but that's okay. Perfectionist tendencies will get you every time. Okay, and then I think for just a touch, I want that to not be quite so brown right there. You can work this back and forth as much as you need to. Doesn't even look like the same stencil, does it? But the stencil's where we started. Okay, so I do want just a touch of like a turquoise blue, which, do I even have that near me right now? Because that was not the color palette I was working on. So on a color wheel, turquoise is going to kind of be across from this orange color. And so that complementary color is going to be just enough to give it just a pop of something different. Let me see if I've got it right here. I've got 14,000 paint colors. I've got this one, but I don't know. I want something a little more vibrant turquoise, and I know the color I've got in my head. 2 seconds, friends. Nope, I must have it in a different location. Okay, so we're gonna go with this. Let's see what this looks like. Pull this out a little bit right there. Ooh, I might need to shake that. That's definitely green. So grab a little light blue. Just using the same brush. I've been using the same brush this whole time. I'm just gonna mix my own color here. I just am mixing a little light blue with this. Oh, you've got to be kidding me. Whatever that says. Who can pronounce this? I don't know what that says. Phthalocyanine? Phthalocyanine green? Come on. Okay, so now we've just mixed our own turquoise here, and I'm just gonna drag in just a little bit of that color. Just here and there. I'm gonna grab some orange and go back over it in places where it's a little too much. I'm just gonna drag it in a little bit and pull that orange back over it so it's just peeking through. There we go. Okay, so it's a hot mess of color, but we've created just the cutest original piece of art with a base of a stencil. And so you just use that stencil as your base, and then you can use the little detail brushes and a variety of paint colors to start to create an original art piece. We're just going to dry this up real good for just a little bit. It does look so pretty. Okay. So the best thing to do is to just give it proper dry time at home. You don't want to have to torch this thing. You can also take it down on the sides if you want. For little pieces like this, I usually just paint the top. And I just resin the top. So as I'm looking at time, it's already 33 minutes in. So this does take a little time to work it back and forth like this, but it gives you the base to create something that's very unique and original. So that turquoise it's a complementary color, so it just gives it a little something extra. And so what we're gonna do from here, it's pretty dry, we're gonna add glass and resin to this. And so, what stencil was this? This one is part of the seasonal icons, is what this one is. But this one is part of that 6-inch, I set it aside, the little 6-inch collection. Do I have it up under here? Yeah. This one is called, I don't see a name on it. This is part of the original collection. It's this one. And so either of these would work. We've got this really pretty fall leaf you could do the same kind of thing with, but this one was part of the seasonal icons. Okay, so we've got this. Now what are we gonna do? I didn't think this through. My thick tape, oh, I do have some frog tape here. Oh, thank the Lord. Okay, I've got some brand new frog tape. This is really wide. I bought this for my wider canvases, which this will work for what we're using. I like the frog tape better anyway. Just gonna rip off a piece and start to put this down. So, or do I just want to do the back? I think I'm gonna do the back, and I'll let the resin be on the sides too. So friends, I have got a flash opening right now of my resin group. I know a lot of you have asked if it was open or when it would be open again, and I've done a flash opening just for this week. If you want to join the membership, take this down real well. The membership, the link is over on my page at Metal Modern Design. You can also text me to my number here, and you can just text me that you're interested, and I will send you information or a link to read more about it. It's a monthly membership. We've got a lot of women in there learning how to do resin crafts for the holidays. It's a great time. They're great sellers. And so it's one of the things I sell the most of in my booths. It's a good money maker. So it's a great time to maybe add a new craft. And you can even use your stencils to create higher end pieces that then you're going to add some glass and resin to. So we'll pull some things out here, and we're going to get going on this. I'm creating some cute little piece here. Just going to lift this up. Make sure you guys can see this. Kind of angle it towards you a little bit. Then I'm gonna grab some glass, and I will be selling glass. I do have some of these things available for members of the group. I'm actually getting a new studio, a larger studio, so I'll be able to do some more fulfillment of things like individual bags of glass. This is just some really pretty bronze colored glass, and I do like the bronze. And I'm just gonna add a little bit here at the top of our pumpkin, just going down a little bit. I don't like to do the whole piece. I think it's a little bit much. Just a little accent is good. Okay, so we've just got a little bronze colored glass at the top there. Now I'm gonna grab out, let me grab some scissors. I'm gonna grab out a piece of curly glass. And the folks in my group get to find out where I get these things. Let me pull out a piece of glass here. And this is also bronze. And I want to see how I want to break this. Now, I will say, this is still glass. It can cut you. So if you're going to do this at home, be cautious, please, because it can cut you. And I've been cut a good number of times. It's like, it's worth it for art. Okay, so I've broken that. And let's see how I want to do this. Woo, that wasn't exactly where I wanted that to break. And I don't know where it went. Leave this to the pros, friends, right? That perfect little curly cue took off shooting across my table here. And now she's gone. She's gone just like that. Let me grab another little curly cue. Over here, let me see what I've got in this bag of glass. I've got something that's equally curly. We might just not be using the curly anymore. Let me stand up and see if a better visual comes to me from overhead. You guys ever do that? You flick something off or something breaks and it shoots off and you have no idea where it went. It's just gone. It just disappeared. All right. Let's see what we got here. The curly cue might not have even worked, but I wanted the option. This curly's too big. So this is how it comes, and then you break it to what you need it for. So let's see, I'm gonna break this one here. Add it over here, see which direction I want it to go. A little bit this way. Actually, I might do one going that way. And then you can also use, sometimes I've got scissors here. I don't really want to use scissors. I've got pliers that I use sometimes to just grab a hold of this. But they're all at the shop right now. I really want that curly cue. You can also use gloves so that you're not injuring yourself. Okay, that's kind of cute how it loops around that way. Pull that off. And you just play with it back and forth a little bit and see what you like. It's kind of big for that piece though. This is kind of a decent size for the piece. Just gonna break a few of these. Gloves are the best thing to use while you're doing this. I heard that shoot across the room. Okay. Also, if this were a bit bigger, like some of these would work better. Like that is a really good stem. Let's see. If I can tuck it down in the glass here a little bit, that might make it better too. So we've got that. We'll just put this little piece coming this way. Got a little tiny stem coming up here. And that's just simple. It's just simple. So let me grab up this glass. Might put a little thicker little piece here. Oh, that would be good. Let me pull this little skinny piece out, or stack it up with a little thicker piece next to it. There we go. And this little thin piece there. Okay, perfect. I like that. Okay, so then we're gonna mix up, you see this? We're gonna mix up our resin. And this is a color that I'm gonna have first. I'm gonna have bronze and copper and some colors for the members. And so I have got some resin pulled off in squeeze bottles here. So let me just add this up. Let me put on my gloves. You wanna use nitrile gloves. You guys still hanging with me? If you like this, make sure you share it out. If you don't follow me over at Metal Modern Design, make sure you do that. Make sure you hang loose till the end when we will have, this goes so slow. This is best for smaller amounts, which is what I pour at home often. I don't have the patience for that. This is going to take less than an ounce, but I am mixing 2 ounces. I'm mixing 2 ounces, even though this is going to take less than an ounce. Because I've got something else I need to pour. Poured a little bit too much hardener in there. That's what happens when you're not using your regular bottles. Okay, so I just want to make sure they're even amounts. It's super important to have exact even amounts. Okay, and this is art resin. This is the brand that I use. And so friends, I just want you to think of your stencils as a tool. Like, you can use them to create original works. Thank you for sharing. I appreciate you. Hey, from Michigan. Oh, 3 minutes. I didn't do it. My mom sent me this cute little 3-minute timer for my birthday. We'll set it here, a little sand timer. And we got to mix for 3 minutes. So this is art resin. It's called art resin. It does look a little intimidating, but it's not too bad. This one is no VOCs and no BPAs, so there's no odor. I can do it right here in the house with the kids and the dogs. You're in Florida visiting. Where's my stop? I've got stuff for sale over at De France in Fort Walton Beach. Yeah, some people still wear a mask. I don't. So, you know, some people still respirate. I don't. Oh, thank you for saying my projects are gorgeous, Lori. You really, it's like me with freehand painting. I see a lot of you saying you haven't tried resin, you're scared of it, you haven't yet. Here's the thing, same thing for me with freehand painting. It's one of those things that it's just out of my comfort zone, you know? It's just out of my comfort zone. So I just need to step out of the comfort zone and do it. You won't know how you feel about it until you try it. You can watch me all day long, but until you try it, you're not going to know how you feel about it. You've never done this type of art. It's so pretty. And friends, you don't have to embellish this with glass and resin. You can leave this just painted just like that, and it's super cute. This is just, nope, my birthday's Saturday. It's not belated at all. I'll be 49. It's the last year until I'm a big 5-0. I'm gonna have to think, you guys will have to give me some ideas of some big things I can do for my 50th birthday next year. I think I wanna travel. I think I wanna travel for my birthday this year, I just don't know where. I like the pumpkin too. I'm just watching the sands of time. Does the resin make the piece heavy? It makes it heavier. The glass makes it heavier too. The membership is open. I just saw somebody said you can't wait till I open up the membership. The membership has a flash opening this week, so the link to get to that's over on my page at Metal Modern Design, or you can text me at the number there, and I'll send you a link. It's open just for a week, just kind of an impromptu thing, Christmas in July, getting some folks ready. Sandy said 50 is nothing. I agree with that. Like, look, I'm proud to be this old. Because of Crohn's disease, I've had so many surgeries that I almost didn't make it from. Like, it's a miracle I'm almost 50. It's like a badge of courage every year I'm on this earth. 10 years older than me. Shelly, the pumpkin started as a stencil. You'll have to watch from the beginning. It started as a stencil, and then we just continued to add layers upon layers upon layers of paint. Yeah, Essential Stencil wouldn't be too happy if I got on here and didn't use any stencils. I used their stencil brush, and I used this was the number 4, just their detail brush, and just added layers of paint. And now we're just going to embellish it with some glass and resin. Oh, I'm out of time, so let's do this. We're just going to drizzle this, and like I said, I mixed way too much resin because I've got another little piece I'm going to do after we finish. Wasn't worth mixing it twice. So we're just going to drizzle this down right over our piece. It doesn't take much. That's even a lot for this little size piece, and we're just going to take it right up to the edges. It makes it 3D, adding the glass. And I can only assume some of you are probably asking where to get the glass. You can get it at some craft stores, you can get it online. I'll have it available over at Deep South Shelling here very soon. But I give the sources and stuff inside the membership. You get supply lists with each of the projects. I'm just taking this right up to the edge. Now, you would not have to do this over the edges if you didn't want to, but with this one I am. I'm just gonna resin those sides. So I've got it nice and up to the edges here. I'm just gonna dip in and just smear a little on the sides here with my popsicle stick. And then I'm gonna do something completely, this is very technical here. I'm just using my gloved hand to spread it over the sides. Just making sure it's nice and coated, but not dripping. Holding on to it because this is pretty small. It doesn't have enough weight for me not to move it. And so that just gives it a nice coating all around the piece. Let me slip off these gloves. And then we're going to heat it up and pop the bubbles through the resin. Now this would work best if you let this paint dry, just a couple of hours probably. But you ought to see the way the colors on this pumpkin pop now with that resin over it. Absolutely gorgeous. And then the glass just makes it 3D. Can you guys see that? You'll have to take a snapshot and zoom in. I'm gonna let this sit till tomorrow morning. I will unmask it and take a picture and post it for you guys so you can see just how beautiful it is. And it all started from a stencil and a couple of stencil brushes. So you guys, there are some great new designs with the new collection coming out that you can do just this very idea. And let me just tell you, I only used about ½ an ounce of resin on this. Only about ½ an ounce. So, yeah, I will post pictures of this. No, this is an old stencil. This is part of the seasonal collection. You can also use the one that's from the older 6-inch collection. You can use any of the pumpkins on any of the sets, but these are some existing sets, and then there's some new ones coming out. And there's an acorn set that is elusive to me that has got a really cute pumpkin too. So you'll have to take a look at the various pumpkin sets that they've got over at Essential Stencil, and you just embellish it. Just grab a set of the brushes and just add some little bits of paint. And when you add the glass to it, you know, it takes it to a next level. Oh, thank you for saying it's gorgeous. It really is in person. And you guys, I'm not one to usually toot my own horn, but look, this is cute. It's really cute. Okay, so let's see if Essential Stencil has got some winners for us. You guys can tune in the rest of the week through Friday. There will be someone on live, and you'll have a chance to win free stencil sets. And of course, you can follow me over at Metal Modern Design, and you can also find the link to join the Resin group over there, or you can text me here to this number and I'll get you some information on. Let me try to pull up the winners. Actually, I see it here. I want to make sure I'm not going to get my hair in the resin. We have got Luann Basilio, Lori Hurst Harris, and Robert Renee Burrow. You guys are all winners. All you have to do is email support@essentialstencil.com, and they'll get you out a really cute stencil set for your being here. Make sure you type replay. If you didn't win just now, you'll have another chance to win. So you guys, I hope you love this. This is just a way to show you that you can create high-end art starting with a stencil. Okay, bye friends.